Wednesdays. Welcome to Aries Rose TV. We got a great show lined up for you today. Julez Smith, the son of Solange Knowles, the nephew of Beyonce. He is back up in the headlines. So content creator Julez said they had an encounter at a hotel and I guess he thought he was Ike and she was Tina. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. Lil Wayne is being sued by his assistant, and the description to be an assistant for Lil Wayne was released on TMZ. So we got to get into those details because he's got some very specific requirements if you want to be an assistant for Lil Wayne. I don't know if he's looking for one, but I thought it was interesting. So we definitely going to talk about that, see what we can find out about that lawsuit. Tell you, Lil Wayne's having a wild summer. Actor Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, he's passed away at the age of 78. So we're going to talk about what was going on with him. The cause of death has been revealed by TMZ, so we're also going to get into those details as well. Stefon Diggs, he is being accused by a male accuser of doing some funky things when they were around each other. I think this accuser used to be his assistant, and then he said some stuff went down between them, and he wasn't trying to give in to the invites from Stefon, and then things have went left from there. Cardi B has entered the chats. She's got some comments she's made about him. We're going to get some updates on that lawsuit, see what's going on there. Nolan Wells, the teen from Mississippi that passed away after he went out for the 4th of July weekend with some friends to Horn Island and did not come back with everybody else. Family has retained Ben Crump as their attorney, and they have released the plans for the funeral. So we're going to get an update on what's going on with that case. And Brandy Norwood has responded to the weight speculation and rumors that have come out. She accepted an award in her hometown in Mississippi, and she also went to Essence Fest, and people were concerned about her weight. She was really small, smaller than we're used to seeing Brandy, and people just were talking about, she got some stuff going on. Is Ray J stressing her out? Lord knows Ray J's been out here doing some wild stuff, talking crazy, being into all kinds of things, and she has responded back to that, so we're going to get into that. First, we're going to be talking about Julez Smith. This story just completely caught me off guard here. So content creator Julez did a little story time on her TikTok or Instagram where she talked about an encounter that she had with Julez Smith and what went down in that hotel. So we are going to get into that. Julez Smith is the son of Solange and Daniel Smith. I believe he was a football player. I don't know if he ever played pro or not. But at the time, Solange was 17 and they had got married. I don't know how old Daniel was. And this is their only son together, Beyonce's nephew. Now, he was recently on my radar when he had been spotted out with Tommy Lee, and there was speculation they may be dating, and they had about a 20-year age difference, and he had some other stuff going on as well. But this is the most I've ever heard Julez Smith being talked about here, but unfortunately this story is not a good story. So she says they met up on social media. This is Julez. I guess they were chatting on whichever way, TikTok, Instagram, and they ended up meeting up at a hotel, and they were going to do what adults do. So she says she gets there, and she kind of suspects that he may be on something, and this is all alleged. This is her account that she has shared on social media of what their encounter was like. She just basically said, he just kind of acted real funny style, but they did what they do. And then she said that they were spooning, and then he rolled over and he was kind of like upset, and she was like, wow, why is he mad? We just finished. Like, I don't understand why he's upset, and generally you should be happy at that point. So that's kind of a telltale sign if this is true. Again, this is all alleged. Maybe something is going on that would trigger you in a moment where you should be calm and relaxed to all of a sudden get upset. And she said, it kind of threw her off, and then she kind of grabs his arm, turns him towards her, and then she sits on top of him and is like, what's up? Are you mad? And I guess he like threw her arm off, and he ended up throwing her off the bed, and she fell onto the floor. And she was kind of taken aback by that, like, whoa, I don't think she was expecting that. And I wouldn't have expected that either. It's kind of not a moment where you think something like that is going to occur. And then from there, She said when she got up off the ground, she came up behind him and she said that she had hit him from behind and she said turned around like in slow motion like they were in a movie and was like, "You hit me! You hit me!" That's what she said he did. And then I guess he started going Ike Turner on her. And she said she was just completely caught off guard by the whole situation. And allegedly, there was a pow pow involved in this that he had tapped on her head. These are crazy allegations, especially to be tied to Beyonce's nephew. You just don't normally hear this type of stuff, and I'm hoping that this is not true. She says that this is a true account and that she has evidence of this. It is not clear if she has gone to the police or not, but she definitely came to the internet. It's a different generation to me where something like this happens, where you were allegedly physically and verbally assaulted. There was allegedly a pow pow involved, and you could have lost your life, could have gotten severely hurt. Fortunately, she did not lose her life. I'm not sure if she got severely hurt, but she said she did have some bruises and stuff that was on her body from this encounter. And you want to come to the internet and share it versus going to the police and filing a police report. I hope that she's done that if that truly did happen, because that is not okay. And that's a message that needs to be sent, that that's not how you're going to be able to move in life, and you can't touch everybody like that, you can't do everybody like that, and you shouldn't do everybody like that. And just because you are the nephew to Beyonce and Solange's son doesn't give you the right and the ability to do that. He has not made any statement about this situation or responded to it at all. So, from his perspective, we don't have any comments that he's made on it. Solange or Beyonce, we know Beyonce is not going to say anything. She's not going to talk about this, and I'm sure her sister is going to follow suit, but it's definitely got the internet buzzing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that Julez did do this? Do you think that she should have gone onto the internet and shared this, or this should be reported to the police? What do you think about this whole situation? I'm going to read these comments on the live tomorrow, so definitely want to hear your feedback on this wild story. You just don't hear a whole lot of stuff going on with that family. Solange is pretty low profile, and her son, I mean, up until this point, I believe he's 21 now, it's been pretty low profile. Although there has been some talk about something that went on between him and Sky Jackson, where he allegedly leaked an inappropriate video with her. I'm not sure if he was in it, but it definitely involved Sky Jackson. So, not good things that I'm hearing as it relates to the ladies. I don't know what's going on there, but we will be following the story, and you'll get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. So if you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button as you come in. It's a free way to support the channel. It helps get more eyes on us with the algorithm. Really appreciate the support. Now we're going to jump into Stefon Diggs. He has been having quite a year. So went to the Super Bowl and lost the Super Bowl, and it was a pretty epic loss in my opinion. That was a sad game. That was kind of like, I don't even know if they even went with any real interest in winning, because I just felt like there was no fire at all for that team. And then towards the end, when they did start getting a little spark there, it was too little, too late. And after he lost the Super Bowl in spectacular fashion, well, him and the team, it wasn't just him. Then he loses Cardi B, because there was some funky stuff going on with them to begin with. And Stefon Diggs is known for having an inability to control urges, and he seems to want to act on them no matter how many women that may be, no matter how many children may be produced from acting on those urges. And allegedly, there's a male accuser that's saying he was trying to act on some urges with me and I was not into it. And then some situation went down because of that. And now he is suing Stefon Diggs. Cardi B has entered the chat. She's had some real choice words for this accuser. She's called him an albino. I want to say I heard her call him a lizard. Like, she ain't got no love for him at all, at all, at all. So it's nice to see her going hard for Stefon. I don't know what their situation is like, but she's definitely coming out to defend the father of her child. against this gentleman here who has filed some accusations against Stefon Diggs, and that has gone all the way to court here. So there's some updates with this lawsuit, and then we're going to get into Cardi B entering the chat. So this situation here has a lot of twists and turns. And one of the most interesting things that we're going to start with is Stefon Diggs' brother has settled with this gentleman. So he had a separate lawsuit against Stefon Diggs' brother, and they have settled. So let's get into that, because usually a settlement doesn't come unless there is all the information yet. So we're going to see what we can find out from TMZ's reporting, if we can get some details on this settlement or not. And this is from TMZ. Male sexual assault accuser settles with NFL stars bro over alleged beatdown. The man who claims Stefon Diggs actually assaulted him reached a settlement with the NFL star's brother in a separate lawsuit over an alleged beatdown, TMZ has learned. According to court docs obtained by TMZ, Christopher Griffith, which is this gentleman here, hashed out a deal to drop his $10 million lawsuit against Julez Diggs in LA apartment and an LA apartment complex. So Julez Diggs is the brother of Stefon Diggs. No details of the settlement were disclosed in the document, so maybe there's a non-disclosure agreement on that, or a gag order on that where they can't discuss it. Christopher claimed he was attacked by Julez and others on May 29, 2023, and had over $100,000 in property stolen. In his separate lawsuit against Stefon, which is still pending, Christopher claims he was hanging out with Stefon in his home when he was slipped some substances. He says Stefon exposed his digs, if you know what I mean, and began to play with himself. Christopher claims Stefon motioned to Christopher to touch his little digs, which led him to telling the NFL star to put his digs away. Stefon tried to kiss him later, but he evaded. These are allegations from the accuser in this lawsuit. Christopher claims Stefon then placed his tongue in his ear in a kissing manner and whispered to him to come to his room. Christopher claimed he was approached by Julez and two women who threatened to harm him if he said anything about what happened with Stefon. Said he was stripped of his clothes and put in a car to the airport. A week later, he said he was attacked outside the elevator in the apartment building by Julez and others. Stefon and Julez deny all allegations of wrongdoing, previously countersued Christopher for defamation. So when you settle, you can say that's not necessarily saying that you did anything wrong. It's not an admission of guilt. Settle, fully believe that you were not, because settlements come with money, and I'm not paying you any money if I don't think I did anything to you. So it does make me wonder what went down there, at least on the brother's end. He appears to be accepting some responsibility, or just doesn't want to deal with the lawsuit or going to court and all that, and just decided to settle to be done with it. Now let's get into what went on when Cardi B entered the chat here. So Christopher Griffith had a response back when Cardi B called him out. So Stefon, and this is reporting from TMZ. And let's get on over to Cardi B, who's been out doing her Little Miss Drama tour. I think that may have already ended, or she may be finishing up, but that was what she had going on this year. Heard a lot of great things about that. And then she had broken up with Stefon after the Super Bowl, and some stuff went down there. And I think they probably had things going on brewing up into that point anyway. And it was probably just the breaking point. So she's been out here doing her thing with her music. And but she's stepping in to defend him. And after that chef case with Jamila Adams, that was a total mess, and he won that case. She's probably looking at him a little bit differently than when that case was still pending or it was going on in court. But she did always stand by him as it related to that as well. Let's get into this reporting from TMZ. Stefon Diggs, male accuser to Cardi, take your blinders off, or take off your blinders. Stefon Diggs, male sexual assault accuser, Chris Griffith is firing back at Cardi B after she cast doubt on the allegations against her on again, off again boyfriend. So she did say that this gentleman changed his story multiple times, that he wasn't always saying the same thing. So she thinks that that should kind of make his credibility questionable if the story keeps changing, because if it really did happen to you, it should remain the same each time. I don't know if the story that he's given has been different. I've heard some say it hasn't changed at all, but according to Cardi B, he's given different versions of the situation, saying that it started off one way and then kind of added some extra stuff on there, adding in the stuff about Stefon Diggs, and some actual assault was the extra flavor that he added onto the story to try to get some more traction. This is according to how Cardi B perceives what he's doing with this situation. We're going to get back into the reporting here. Cardi went off on Chris in a social media barrage Tuesday, claiming he's changed his story about Stefon multiple times. She alleges the initial story did not include any of the claim of Stefon taking out his little digs out in front of him, but that ended up being in the lawsuit. Maybe he just didn't discuss that publicly and was going to put in the lawsuit. I don't know if he didn't say it publicly, that necessarily means he's changing his story, as he may not have just put that part in there. She said she hated how she was defending Stefon, who she was currently beefing with. Cardi said she was upset because she didn't believe Chris's claims against her baby daddy, but Chris told her to, quote, take the blinders off, end quote. Cardi alleged Chris was obsessed with Stefon. Chris caught wind of the post and quickly responded in the comments section. He said, quote, I have too much respect for Barty and the women in general for me to say anything disparaging back to her, but mama, please take off the blinders, end quote. My time, or he said, my time around that group of people predates you, end quote. He scoffed at her claims he stole from Stefon and his team, claiming he was the one who was robbed by Stefon's associates. Chris added, quote, you know how embarrassing it is to have to face this foolishness every day, which I believe that, end quote. As TMZ first reported, Stefon sued Chris for defamation over the claims. He said he never gave him any substances or actually assaulted Chris. Chris countersued for alleged sexual battery over an alleged incident at the NFL star's home in 2023. So never a dull moment with Cardi B or Stefon Diggs. I tell you, ever since she started dealing with this man, I think I've been hearing more about her than when she was messing with Offset. And he was supposed to be an upgrade, but unfortunately, Stefon is community property, as they say. And it's so unfortunate because Cardi B has such good things going for her. She seems to be a wonderful mom, a sweet person, and she's like anybody. You mess with her, she's not going to be playing that. You mess with her kids, she don't play that. But for the most part, she looks like she just minds her own business, does her thing, and is just trying to be a happy, productive human being. And she looks like she's really into her family and having a happy life, and I'm all for that. So I don't know, where Stefon really fit in that picture, because he just never gave me the vibes that he was going to fit into the image that I think, she was looking for. And I feel for her having to come out in these situations with the chef, where she was coming out to kind of windmill for him. And now in this situation, I just think that is so wild. And it's just a time to say, be very careful about the people you have kids with. Take some time to get to know them. Everything that's cute, or they might make you feel warm and fuzzy in the moment, give it some time. Get to know people. Sometimes you can be stepping in some mess you don't want to be stepping in. And if I got 4 babies, I don't want to be out here having to deal with you in these foolishness, with these lawsuits, having to come out and stand by you. You're supposed to be standing up for me if you're the man in the family. So kudos to her, Cardi. You're doing more than I think I would do for somebody in his situation. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think Stefon is guilty of this? Do you think he did do something to this assistant here? Or do you think the assistant's adding dubs on it? What do you think about Cardi B entering the conversation here, trying to throw jabs at this gentleman? You think she should stay out of it? Let it just play in the courts? Let's keep that conversation going. We'll be reading out those comments on the next live. So definitely want to hear your thoughts about it. As you come in, like the video. It's a free way to support the channel. Helps with the algorithm, gets more eyes on us, lets them know we are here. If you like celebrity news, we'd absolutely love to have you here as a subscriber on Aries Rose TV. We have fun here. We'd love to have you part of the Aries crew. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. And now we're going to talk about Little Wayne here. So his assistant is suing him. It looks like everybody is in court. Everybody's suing everybody. And we are going to see what is going on over here with Little Wayne. They left a description of what you need to do, your duties to be an assistant for Little Wayne. So if you've ever wanted to be one or you just were curious to know, we're going to go through that because I found it to be pretty interesting here. So we're going to go over this. Little Wayne is having an interesting summer. So he didn't show up to one of the concerts that he's doing for his tour that he's currently on. And then another one, and I'm not sure if it was Maine or New Hampshire, he just flat out showed up 2 hours late and then only did an hour worth of songs and then just left. And so he's rescheduled either Maine or New Hampshire, whichever one he didn't go to. He's going to be redoing that show on July 28th. And then allegedly he was engaged to a social media influencer. I think the name is Maddie. And then that relationship didn't end up working out to where they're going to get married, which I never thought he was going to get married to begin with. So Lil Wayne is having quite the summer. And so are these locks. Leave a 1 in the chat if you think Wayne needs to go on and let these locks go. I mean, he's just hanging on to scraps here. And I can understand when you like the hairstyle, but sometimes we just got to know when to let it go. And this just kills me every time I see it. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Leave a 1 in the chat if you think Lil Wayne needs to go and let these locks go. Let's check out what's going on here. To be an assistant for Lil Wayne, this reporting from TMZ. Here's what Lil Wayne looks for in his assistants. Dog lovers with good hygiene who know how to roll a mean bleezy. And we're using some little different wording here because we are on YouTube, so bear with me. And let's see, in the new legal docs obtained by TMZ, Weezy's former assistant reveals all the duties he was responsible for when he was working for the rapper, and it's oddly specific. Andrew Williams, who worked for Wayne for years, is currently involved in a bitter court battle with his former boss over claims Wayne assaulted him on a private jet in 2022. And his job description is being used as evidence in court. So he's apparently Wayne maybe put hands, feet, paws, whatever he may have done to him or had other people do to him. We'll see if it goes into that a little bit more. So that's what kicked off this lawsuit. But now he's talking about what it was like to be an assistant, what you had to do. So let's see how that's relevant to the lawsuit here and what occurred. But I did think it was interesting the requirements that Lil Wayne had for his assistant. We're going to get into that right now. The doc says the assistant was required to be on call 24/7. That's where you already lost me because you can't have my entire day. Duties include remaining discreet about all personal matters. That's fair. That's probably very standard. And signing a non-disclosure agreement. I'm sure that's pretty standard too. Nothing too wild on that one. The job also required the assistant to wake up Wayne on time. I don't know if he's a hard sleeper, light sleeper, how easy that was to wake up someone on time. That may seem like that's nothing, but depending on what you got to do to wake someone up. And they say allegedly Little Weezy does a lot of stuff. So I don't know how easily he wakes up. So that could be a lot of work, but that to me is why I don't want to have to wake you up. See, you've already lost me because we're kind of like doing stuff that I think you should be able to do yourself. Let's see. You have to have Pre rolls ready at all times, and to restock prior to running out of his preferred wraps. So you got to be on top of that. In addition, the assistant was responsible for handling small purchases. That's fairly standard. Informing Wayne of all purchases, traveling with the rapper at all times. So it just seemed like you have to be ready to go when they want to go. If they need you, you need to be there, which would make it hard for you to have a life. Because if you got to be on call 24/7, how can you be with somebody? Because if we're dating and they call you and you got to turn around and leave, and it could be midnight, it could be 10 o'clock at night, I don't know. I might have a problem with that. So that just seems like super limiting for your life. Maybe this person doesn't have any kids or a family they have to worry about. Let's see. Packing his bags for the trip. So they want you to pack his bags and ensuring his day smoothly. The job also asks for the assistant to be available by phone at all hours, and their phone must always be charged, run various errands around kids and dogs, and be self-motivated with a positive attitude. So you want somebody to be around you 24/7, to be available 24/7, even if they're not around you, and have a positive attitude. When you try to take away their whole entire life just to be available for your beckoning call, I don't know. Tell me if that's normal. Would you want somebody to be available for you 24/7? It doesn't say how much you're getting paid, but if you need me to be available and on call like that, you got to be paying me a lot of money. Let's see. The job also called for the assistant to work under pressure and to be mentally sound. Wayne also wanted the assistant to be strong enough to carry a bag and have pleasant personal hygiene. Andrew is suing Wayne, claiming the rapper assaulted him on a jet after he tried to intervene in a fight with the rapper and the pilot. Wayne denied all allegations of wrongdoing and argued any actions were done in self-defense. So we will be following the story. You'll get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. Let me know what you think about the description to be an assistant for Lil Wayne. Did anything sound too crazy in there to you, or do you think it's all fairly standard? Let me know what you think about these allegations against Lil Wayne from the lawsuit from his assistant here, or probably former assistant at this point. And we'll be getting into those updates as they come available. And now we're going to move on over to Brandy Norwood. So I love me some Brandy. She has some classics in the 90s. She was that girl. I mean, what black girl did not love Moesha? She was that girl. And Brandy has always been that girl. And she came out recently, and this appearance and this apparent weight loss has had people concerned about what's going on with our R&B princess. We want her to be healthy. We want her to be happy. And when we see her like this, we get a little bit worried because we don't know what's going on. What's got you stressed, sis? Is it your brother? Because I know he got us all stressed. Every time I see Ray J's name coming, I go, oh my goodness. I could not imagine him actually being my brother, and I get stressed out, and I don't even know him just when I see him coming up. If she had other stuff going on, people were genuinely concerned. Now, I'm sure there were some people who were not coming from a good spirited place, and unfortunately, you just can't control that. Not everybody's got a good heart or is coming with the intent of trying to be helpful. But I feel like most of the people got left for Brandy, and it was coming from a place of like, we just want to know that you are okay, sis. You are very important to us. You are a legend, and we want to make sure you are able to be here for as long as possible. We can enjoy your beautiful voice, your music, hear all the stories, because you've had a remarkable career in life. I mean, how many people can say they were close to Whitney Houston? You worked with her on the Cinderella movie. I mean, she was one of your icons that you looked up to, and you got an opportunity to work with her, and she was one of the best to ever do it. So I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Brandy was right up there with one of the top people who said that Brandy was a great vocalist. So she is that girl. And we're going to see what her response was to all the speculation about her weight. And we're going to get into a statement she released on her social media in response to all the speculation that she has been hearing. And stay tuned. We're going to be talking about Sam Neill from Jurassic Park. The actor has passed away at the age of 78. Very sad news. And then we're also going to be talking about Nolan Wells. His family has released information about the funeral service, so we're going to talk about what's going on there as well. So we do have some more great stories for you tonight. And make sure you join us on Monday for Messy Mondays. We're going to be doing that every Monday. You'll see that here on Aries Rose TV. Make sure you have your notifications on. And that way, when we go on, you'll just get a little pop up on your phone and you can join us so you don't miss out. And we're going to get back into here talking about Brandy. Let me know if you went to the Boy Is Mine tour with Brandy and Monica. I really, really wanted to go and see them in concert, but the money wasn't moneying, so I wasn't able to go, but I heard they did a great show. Just like I want to go see Usher and Chris Brown. Leave a 1 in the chat if you saw Monica and Brandy on the Boy Is Mine concert, and leave a 2 in the chat if you have seen Chris Brown and Usher in concert. We'll see how many Aries crew have gone out and checked out the show, because I'm hearing good things about that as well. And now we're going to get into the response that Brandy shared on her social media regarding the speculation on her weight. And this is from the Today show, today.com. Here is where I am getting the statement from. And here we go. Amid the internet chatter about Brandy's health and body image following her recent appearances, the singer took to social media to seemingly address the noise. Brandy, born Brandy Norwood, shared an emotional Instagram post on January 11th here. And let's get into... Let's see, it doesn't look like this one is the full one, so bear with me here because I want to get the full quote that she said. And bear with me here because I'm looking that up at the same time. But as you come in, let me know what your thoughts are here on this weight loss here with Brandy. It to me kind of really shocked me when I saw it, because she does tend to be smaller. This isn't quite that unusual, but I do feel like it's smaller than I'm used to seeing her, which makes me wonder if there's something else going on here that's kind of fueling her. And give me just a second here. All right, and now we are there. And I'm going to read this from her Instagram post. This from Brandy Norwood. Hey, beauty. Perhaps we've been looking for it in all the wrong places: in youth, in perfection, in approval, in bodies that never change, in faces that never age. But life was never meant to leave us untouched. It shapes us, it humbles us, it refines us. Every season leaves its signature upon us. And maybe that's where beauty has been all along, not in escaping change, but in becoming through it. I've learned that it takes only a moment to form an opinion about someone's appearance and a lifetime to understand what they've lived through. So we may become gentler with one another, not because everyone is fragile, but because everyone is carrying a story we cannot see. Our words have weight, our judgments have weight, our kindness does too. The world will always be tempted to measure people by what is visible, but love has never looked only at the surface. Love sees the whole person. I've stopped trying to earn my reflection. I've stopped asking the mirror to tell me who I am. I know who I am. and that knowing has given me a freedom no opinion could ever take away. If this post leaves you with anything, I hope it's this. Before you speak about someone's body, before you speak about someone's face, before you decide who they are by what you see, remember you are looking at someone's child, someone's friend, someone's dream, someone's life, a soul that has always been more beautiful than surfaces. Love, Brand. End quote. Let me know what you think about that in the chat. And that's that on that from Brandy Norwood. And we're going to move on here to Sam Neill, American Treasure. And he starred in Jurassic Park, the very first amazing movie by Steven Spielberg. That was one of the coolest things that I had ever seen on the screen. Seeing dinosaurs come to life was so amazing. And watching that was like you were in that park as it was happening, running from the dinosaurs, running from the T-Rex. And this guy was one of the coolest people because he seemed to know everything about dinosaurs. He could keep you safe. He knew what to do in these crazy situations that I probably would have panicked and been eaten by the T-Rex just out of pure fear. And so that instantly made him a classic, or instantly made the movie a classic and made him a star here in America because that movie was huge. And Jurassic Park is still a franchise that exists today, and it was because of the success of that first movie, and he was a huge part of what made that first movie successful. So when I heard he passed, it was very sad. And we're going to get into that because his cause of death has been revealed. He was previously battling cancer, but it's my understanding that the cancer had been in remission. So we're going to see if that had anything to do with what was going on with him. The Jurassic Park star and this reporting from TMZ, Sam Neill died suddenly earlier this week, and now TMZ has learned his cause of death. Philip Grins, Neil's manager, tells TMZ the actor died of pneumonia prior to becoming sick. Sam had valiantly fought and beaten lymphoma through a new treatment called CAR T therapy. In addition to running his award-winning winery, Two Paddocks, the Ireland-born actor had filmed 4 projects back-to-back during the past year, all of which we're told will be released within the coming months. So at least he got to do some work here and leave some art for us to continue to enjoy. As TMZ previously reported, one of his former co-stars said Neil had pneumonia before he passed, but we now know that was in fact the cause. And as you know, Sam passed away Monday in the hospital in Sydney, Australia, and his death was described as sudden and unexpected. Grins tells TMZ a private service for his family and friends will be held in New Zealand at his New Zealand farm, but no public service or celebration of life will take place. We're told the beloved actor never liked a big fuss to be made about him, and that will be honored in his death. May you rest in peace. Thank you for that amazing movie. There's another movie that I absolutely loved him in the Mouth of Madness. Leave a mouth emoji if you saw the movie In the Mouth of Madness. I think that is a very good movie. It's a mind beep and it's wild, but it's a very good movie. I don't know if it would kind of hold up today because it came out, I want to say, like in the late 90s, but at that time it was really cool. It was just a different kind of fun, scary movie that mixed books, authors, reality, not reality, spirituality. There's a lot going on in that movie. So check it out if you have not seen In the Mouth of Madness. You will not be disappointed. And then he did the movie Event Horizon, and that was a really good movie that I enjoyed. Outer space, kind of scary movie. If you have not seen that, you need to check that out. I'm sure you can find it on Netflix, Amazon Prime. He's got a lot of other great movies. You can probably find a lot of those out there as well. Let me know what your favorite Sam Neill movie was. Definitely want to see if I have any others that loved him from Jurassic Park. That's his favorite movie to me. Or maybe Event Horizon, In the Mouth of Madness, or one of his other classics were your favorites. Let me know in the comments. We'll be reading those off in another live. And now we're going to get to Nolan Wells. Sadly, this teen was from Mississippi. 18 years old, and he passed away during the 4th of July weekend when he went with some friends to Horn Island, and he did not come back with said friends, and said friends really didn't have any explanation because everybody's story just wasn't adding up. 1 plus 1 was not equaling 2, and 1 plus 1 should be equaling 2, especially when somebody is missing. So the friends he went to this island with said, oh, well, he said he was going to stay behind because he was going to talk to a girl. So he decided not to get on the boat to go back with his friends. But the weird part is they had his cell phone. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know too many people, I don't care what your age is, that's going to let somebody hold on to your cell phone and go on a boat and go all the way back home while you stay on an island without your cell phone. It don't even sound right, but this is one of the stories that one of the kids tried to say. So this one I have to look at you like, do you think I'm Boo Boo the Fool? You gonna tell me my child gave you their phone for you to come on home and they decide to stay on an island to talk to a girl that they don't even know without a way to communicate with me at all? Okay. Already 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2. But then the girl says, no, he wasn't talking to me because he told me he needed to get back on the boat to go back home. So now we're like, wait a minute, you telling me look at her? She's saying, no, look at you. So it's kind of like this. Everybody's pointing at everybody. So it's just a ball of confusion. So that's making me think, well, now all of you are suspect. What's really going on? And now Ben Crump has entered the chat and has been retained as the attorney for the family because they want some answers and they're not happy with what they're not getting and what they have gotten so far. They apparently had to do quite a bit just to get Nolan's phone back. And this is from his innocent friends who did nothing wrong. So there's a lot of things that concern me about this, but we'll just stick to what we know versus speculating. We do know he passed away. His body did come up on shore the following day. What happened to him, we still don't know yet. But Colin Kaepernick has agreed to pay for an independent autopsy, so we can hopefully get some answers of what was going on with him. As far as it's been known, he was a healthy teen. As far as I am currently aware, he was able to swim. So I don't know what may have led to him being alive 1 minute and then not making it back home with the rest. But hopefully this will start to give some answers to the family and friends and now the public that's invested in knowing what happened to this young man. And hopefully there was no foul play, but if there was, hopefully that can be addressed and those people can be brought to justice because he won't be able to live his life. And if it was because of something that those friends did or trying to cover up, I hope that that comes out, because if it were my child, I would be devastated and I would want justice. If you were involved in it, I don't want you to be able to go and have a great life while my kid is no longer able to give me a hug and talk to me and it's your fault. Mm-mm. So I'm hoping that there was no foul play, but if there was, let's hope this autopsy or other stuff can point to the people who are responsible for it. And Tyler Perry's agreed to pay for the expenses for the funeral, which I think is amazing. So that's probably a huge weight off the family's shoulders because very expensive, very, very expensive for funerals. And I'm sure autopsies and all of that stuff is very costly. And when you don't expect that and you're not prepared for that because you don't think your child's going to go before you, that can be a very big change, life altering, expenses. So kudos to them for stepping in to help this family during their difficult time. And let's get into what the family has shared about what's going to go on for the funeral service for this young man. And we will be going live on Mondays for Messy Monday. So make sure you join us next week. We'll have some great stories lined up. We will be going live on Friday as well. If we can fit one in tomorrow, we'll definitely do that. But we're definitely going live on Friday. So make sure you join us for that. Take a quick drink of water. We're hitting the triple digits and it's staying super hot even at night. So I feel like I just cannot drink enough to stay cool and stay hydrated. All right, let's get into this reporting from TMZ about how the family is going to celebrate the life of this young man that unfortunately was cut short. His mom, no, she look about the same age as him. Loving that aging gracefully, not looking old at all. And let's get up into this story here. Nolan, and this reporting from TMZ, Nolan Wells will be laid to rest next week in Mississippi, and his parents say the family also intends to do something fun to celebrate their son. Christine Wansley says her son's visitation will be held at Centerpoint Church in Ocean Springs on Monday, July 20th from 9 to 11 a.m. with the funeral to follow. She also explained the family plans to have a party for Nolan, saying, quote, "We want to celebrate Nolan. He would not want us to be sitting around crying and eating," end quote. Christine said they'll have a party at the Jackson County Fairgrounds, but want to keep the guest list just to family, friends, Nolan's teammates, and some media. She went on to thank Tyler Perry for covering funeral expenses and Colin Kaepernick for footing the bill for independent autopsy, and Reverend Al Sharpton for agreeing to officiate Nolan's service. Christine also asked that anyone who is protesting on her son's behalf keep things peaceful, saying, quote, "Nolan would never want any type of violence or anything like that. He was not that kind of person," end quote. As you know, Nolan disappeared after a 4th of July boating trip with friends to Horn Island. He was later found deceased in the waters off the island. The Jackson County District Attorney's Office is investigating the teen's passing, but Nolan's family is conducting their own independent investigation, and we will be following this story as it unfolds, and you'll get your updates here on Aries Rose TV. If you have not already done so, like the video. It's a free way to support the channel. It goes a long way, and it means a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Share this live out with family and friends. If you love entertainment, you like this type of messy news, give us a call, give us a chance here. We'd love to have you a part of the Aries crew. You can catch your updates here for all that celebrity tea. We'll see you later. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care.